Actually, me being a nurse is how we found this lot. So I was a home care nurse and I had a patient across the street and I didn't know that this was a subdivision in development. So I saw the patient and we found the lot and that's how we got it.
So I'm very familiar with Baumann because being a mortgage banker by trade, I work with a lot of their clients who have built houses. And so I also work with a lot of other builders. So when it was time to go through and figure out who did I want to have to build my house, I wanted to make sure that I worked with somebody I knew, that I trusted, I knew that they would do a good job, and that they had a track record of performing and getting the job done right, on time and on budget. So we definitely ended up working with Baumann because of that, because of my experience I had working with them, with other clients as part of the process as well too.
The first thing that happened was we brought our drawings to them. Yeah, we went over details of everything with them, finishes, and worked with their designer.
That's another big plus, is the fact that they had somebody on staff that, you know, is familiar with plans, has drawn a ton of them, and knows what they're doing. So they were able to go through and make some adjustments to our plan, which actually in the end ended up working out really well. I would say we met with Mike originally probably about a year before we actually ended up breaking ground. Went through kind of a rough budget, some rough preliminary numbers, and they gave us a good idea so that as we got ready to go through and do the project a year later, we had a good idea of kind of what we were up against already. At that point, we just kind of fine-tuned the numbers, went through the final budget, went through any changes and revisions that we needed to do, and it really had a good feel. So, you know, they have a really good process in place, you know, just kind of from start to finish, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. They have an app that you can follow along with all the progress of your house and choices that you've made and stuff like that, so that was helpful.
Working in banking, I see a lot of people who build homes that don't necessarily finish on time or budget. In this case, it worked out really well because we finished, I feel like we were right on time, and we were pretty much right on budget. They run a really tight ship. The communication is good. We always knew kind of where we were at, what the timeline looked like, and what to expect throughout the process, which is nice because, you know, I don't build homes for a living. Erin doesn't build homes for a living, so we did rely heavily on their expertise, and that paid off.
Joe would meet us at the different vendors' locations too, which was super helpful and very reassuring, because if we had gone to those places alone, it would have been very intimidating.
That was really a huge benefit to be able to have somebody on staff that, you know, had expertise in that area that was able to help us.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to look at something on paper, then it's something else to see it all kind of come together and all those pieces fit together, where, you know, short of just a couple of small adjustments that they made, and those adjustments of course were for the better. You know, this is exactly what our architect had drawn, and it all came together really, in all honesty, I think better than what both of us probably expected. In the end.
And people ask, would you change anything? Like as far as layout or anything major, I wouldn't change a single thing.
No, I would say we're super happy with the house, how everything came together, and they got it right on the money.
Like I wouldn't move one ball now, so they're all in the right spot.
They paid attention to the details, so.
Yes, I would recommend Baumann Builders, and I did actually. One of my coworkers ended up building a house not too long after we did.
Yep. It's easy to be able to say, hey, go work with Baumann. They built my house and did a good job. They'll do a great job for you as well. So we definitely would work with them again, and we can send a number of people to them as well.